Hello and welcome to another rain review and how-to. Today we're going to be talking about the Thermomate 3000 watt, 240 volt, 120 square foot carbon infrared heater. Took it out of the box so you can see it comes nicely packed. It's got a lot of foam. The first thing you're going to want to make sure you notice on this product is that it is hardwired. So it doesn't come with a plug. There's two options here. One is the hardwire that's in your 240 or 220 volt plug, and make sure that you have all the wiring correct. Or in my case, I actually went out and I bought a plug. This was under $20. I'll put a link down below. But I bought the plug that I need to fit into my actual 220 volt plug out in my garage where I'm going to put this. And it comes with all the prongs I'm going to need too. So I'm going to go ahead and start by wiring this up and get that process started. What this comes with though is obviously your heater. It comes with your infrared electric heater instruction guide. And then it has your bracketing for your wall mounts, which includes your drywall screws, all the hardware you would need to actually mount this up on the wall. And then it has your nice remote that comes with it too, so you can control it from afar. So first things first, I got to go ahead and get this wired. So I'm going to go ahead and start that process. And then we'll get into mounting it, showing it on the wall. Some of the things you have to consider when you're putting it up as far as where it should be placed. And then turning it on and see how hot it gets and what it runs like. So let's go ahead and get started with wiring. So in order to orient this the right way, what I wanted to do is actually put the plug the way it's going to plug in. So mine's going to actually come down and plug in this way, which means that I just want to make sure my cords are all going in the right way and that they're in place where they need to be. So for me, I need to make sure that everything comes in and is pointing straight up. So that's the way I want to make sure I orient my plugs. So I'm going to go ahead and just get these put in and tightened down individually. So what you can see I'm doing here is I'm actually splitting the wires in half so that they go around the screw, because there's a gap in there that the wire is just falling right out of. So I just want to wrap it right around the screw there. The whole piece gains the electricity that comes in here. So to just make sure I'm wrapped in there, and when I screw it down, I know that I'm clamping it and it has as much of the wire touching the rest of the metal in there. Okay, so what we want to do again here is make sure I got everything labeled here on the outside. I know my black one's going to go in there, so I'm going to start with that one going through. And again, my wire's coming in from the bottom here, so I just want to make sure kind of orienting things the right way. So that's where the black one's going to go. My red one's going to go over here. I'm also being cautious that there's no wires sticking out or touching one another anywhere. No loose ends. So everything's in there nice and neat. So you can see that. I'm going to go ahead and just close this up. Double check, close this up, and then I'm going to go ahead and screw it shut with these two screws that also came with this, and there you go. That's what we're going to be looking like here as we settle everything down. So I'm going to get this screwed up, and we're going to go ahead and take this out and mount it. All right, so there you have it. It's all wired together, and I locked it up, screwed everything in nice and tight. I will say that it's still a little loose, like you can shake things, but if we're just plugging this in, you know, it's going to be stationary in there, and I'm not worried about that. It also has a clip on top. So once that's all done, that is exactly how you hook that piece up. All right, so I got all my tools here to install this Thermomate heater. I did test it, everything works. I did that first. I went ahead and plugged in over here. So I had a couple options here. One is I could go up here and mount it, but I didn't want that close to my stack that comes out from my dryer that goes into my ceiling, which literally the worst design ever. So I'm gonna use this wall right here. For how we park our cars come straight in here, my wife does. So I wanted to make sure that that was at least pointing in that direction. Because this is gonna have to be at a 35 to 45 degree angle slanted down. You don't want it going straight out. You want to point it at your ceiling, obviously. You want it down. So it has to be 8 feet from the ground. So I'm gonna go 8 feet up this wall, and then at least 13 inches from any corners. So I'm doing that, but you also wanna make sure it's away from things. So like these boxes are gonna get moved. I don't want anything in the way or down from here that can easily catch on fire or get too hot and shouldn't be. So what comes in here, so on the back of this, where you can see where there's pre-screws there, we got 4 screws, and then you use these brackets. So 2 of these brackets are going to connect into the back of here, and then the other 2 go in the wall, and then it comes with a nut and a bolt here to put in there so that it's adjustable. You can see that it locks either up or down. So your angle is going to be determined by this, which is great because then you have to worry too much about that. I got my tape measure, a little Sharpie there so I can mark things off, and then I use my drill for everything, even though you could just hand crank these because we're going to be putting in our wall anchors as well. But you want to be careful if you're doing that. Always have that on the lowest setting. So I'm going to go ahead, measure everything out of where I want it, measure up these and make my marks on the wall, and then get everything installed on the wall hardware wise and on the back of this, and then get up there and connect it. So the other part you need is a ladder, which I didn't bring over, but that is the next part. Okay, so what you just saw me do is kind of find the center point on my wall 8 feet up. I'm looking for symmetry out of that. So I want to make sure that I see that these fit in here. And then I want to measure the first two apart from each other because that's just where I want to kind of make my marks up there. So this is about 3.5 to the center. So 3.5 to the center of each. So I'm just going to make sure I go on my wall and make my marks 3.5 apart from each other there, and then that will give me the alignment for the rest of my screws. I'll use my brackets as a template up there on the wall. We're gonna go from there. All right, pretty simple here. Again, 3.5 is my mark. This is center. So I'm gonna go 1 3/4 out. 1 3/4 out, about there. And then from here, 1 3/4 out, 3.5, right off center, 3.5 here. And then that's my inside screw. So I'm gonna give myself a little leeway there and just make an X there for that one. Same thing on this side. I'm gonna go ahead and just make an X inside of this one in the center. And then if you wanna make it really special, you're gonna wanna just make sure you put a level line in there, which I am gonna do. I'm gonna get a level just to make sure my line across the middle is level. I know exactly where I'm gonna go ahead and pop in my wall anchors. So, I know I got my 2 marks with my X's, my inside ones. I'm just gonna get my level, and I'm not trying to be super exact here, but I know that this one's gotta come up, so I'm just gonna put a line there, that one's good, and that X is good. So I know if I follow along that line there, that line there, then I'm going to be level across. That's going to ensure that everything's hopefully level. And while I was here, I grabbed all of my tools I need. So when I'm doing wall anchors, I like to punch a little hole through just to start with a Phillips. Good, no studs. All right, now for the next part, I did end up grabbing a screwdriver. So I want to make sure that these brackets are going out. So the circle part with the marks got to go out. So I'm going to go ahead and start my first screw here. Just get it started. Get my second screw, get it started. And then I could go ahead and do these parts by hand. One of the keys I want to make sure of is that I don't tighten these things down all the way. I mean, it's the last step I'm going to do anyway, but just in case I got to take them out and move them for some reason, I always wait to tighten everything down super until the end. Okay, so I went ahead and removed my 4 screws here. You can see there's 2 washers on each. You're going to want to keep 1 washer at the bottom on the surface there, and then 1 on the other side of the clip. So there are 3 different sets of holes here. So the way that I measured it, I'm going to want mine to go in this orientation. Now that is not centered, but I can either go this one, which I'll probably actually end up going to this side. So I want to make sure I'm there. But what I did is I measured up top. I'm 7 1/4, and I could be a little loose here on how far my spacing is, but 7 1/4 in between. So this one might not actually work because I don't think that's spaced exactly the same as this one might be. So let's see here. I think these are actually spaced out a little further. Interesting. Yeah, so I'm going to use this side because these are actually 7 1/4 here. From here, it's a lot shorter, thinner. So they probably give you that depending on how you're going to mount it and if you need more space or not. But based on what I originally measured, I'm going to want to end up using these 2 and just double measure that there. 7 1/4, and I know that that's what is up on my wall. So I'm going to go ahead and get these screwed in. and then get this put up and mounted. So I am using my drill for this, but again, I have this on a low setting to make sure I could screw these in the holes. I'm not going to put them super tight because I want to make sure that I get my measurement in first. All right, one more measurement. Inside the insides, a little over 7 1/4, so that's good. That means I can adjust, so when I'm up there, if I need to just give it a little knock that way to bring it to 7 1/4, I could do that. There we go. So that's good. I'm going to go ahead and tighten these two down. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and get this mounted up top. All right, so for doing this as a one-man job, I want to make sure I'm kind of prepped the best way. This thing is super lightweight, so I'm able to lift this with one hand and put it in. And then I also got my nuts back here and my bolts. So what I'm going to do is position where I want, stick my bolts through it so it holds on that, and then tighten them down. It's probably not the best solution. If you have two people, I recommend using two for this part. Since I just got myself here right now, I'm going to go ahead and lift everything up, secure it in, and then tighten everything down. I am going to start by tightening down up here, though. I want to make sure that now that I know where my measurements are, I'm going to definitely tie down my bolts. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick too, by hand, because we're using drywall screws up there. And these are locking nuts, so I could pretty much get it there with my hands. And then we're gonna go ahead. So that is just hanging down on its own. It's stopped. I could hear it grab in the back. And that's the angle you're gonna want it at up here on the wall. So let's go ahead and tighten down those nuts and bolts. Get it plugged in, turned on, show you what that looks like. All right, so as a whole here, I went ahead and tightened down the nuts pretty good in the back. That way I can actually adjust it here and it holds itself. I will say the wall anchors seem to be a little wonky in there. I did put them in though, and I'm probably gonna just have to tighten this one down on the side. But for what we're doing now, I wanted to show I got the cord coming out the back here. What I will eventually do is, because my cord's gonna plug in over here, I'm gonna actually use some anchors along the way here to just nail it in and kind of keep it out of the range of hair, but also tucked behind, because we do have some things to go here. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in. I don't know if you can see that part. I'm gonna make an adjustment here. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug in here. There is a switch located on the side. It's an on-off switch. It's right here. Once that's on, you can see two little dots come here. And now we can control it with our remote. Okay, so I'm just gonna run you through the remote here. So obviously this top button here is power. This is your increased heat level or timer hours. This will, and the heater on, you can, so if I hit power, right now it says L1 on there. I can go ahead, and that is 50%. If I turn it on to L2, that's 100%. You can see the heaters did turn on. This here adjusts the timer. So I'm gonna push that, it's at 0. And then I will use the up arrows to set that. That is adjusted in hours. So we're at 1 hour, 2 hours. You can go all the way up to 24. And I'm telling you, from where I'm at, I'm probably standing 6-7 feet away from that. I can feel it. So there's 24 hours there. And then here, number 4, this is the enable heat level adjustment. So if I push that, it just takes me back to my L1, L2. So you can see on L1, it's scaled back a little. It's probably gonna be hard to tell in the video, but the coils did get a little less red. So we're gonna pump that back up to 2. It goes up higher. Again, so with my timer, if I just hit the timer button, I could go ahead and adjust that. And I'm gonna bring it down to just 1 hour. And so there, I got it set. And now I want to get you a little closer, so I'm going to take you off my tripod. I do want to show real quick that should you not have the remote handy, you're not dead in the water. you can go ahead and just hit the on button here. And then you can still control the level of heat by hitting this. That's L1. So that's a very low heat. You can see that turn on. And if I go ahead and hit L2, that pumps it up. One more is off. And if I hold it, it doesn't do anything. So just for those of you wondering, holding that in does not help set a timer or anything like that. It's just the heat. So should you lose the remote, you still have an option to turn this on, which I do like about this design is you're not always going to necessarily need the remote to make sure it works. I tell you what, this is, whoo, it's pumping off some heat. So inside there's a coil inside of a little glass tube. I'm assuming it's glass. And then on the back, you can see that it's just reflecting. So if I go under, you can see how that's the reflector on the back. And you got that two sides there. So let me tell you, this thing is super hot. I really like it. Again, I'm gonna move these things. You don't want anything around there. I can feel the heat coming off and hitting here now. I'm in the middle of Ohio here, so it is hot. It's summer right now, but in the winter, this is gonna come in very, very handy to have up here, especially on this wall. Looking behind it, I always wanna test this. So right here, tons of heat. As you get, oh, my hand's in the way. Right here is tons of heat. As you move back here, back on this side, nothing. Very, very cool. That's good. That's great design all the way along. I mean, this thing is blasting heat. So from where I'm standing, this thing is gonna heat up. Now, as I told or showed you, this heats up to 120 square feet. So in my garage, which isn't very big, I'm anticipating this is gonna pump off a lot of heat for us in the winter, help keep everything nice and very kind of temperature controlled. I think in the morning you come turn this on for a couple minutes, heat up the garage, heat your car up a little bit. But also as I work out here in the garage, this is gonna be really nice to have up here. If you have a big space and you could put up multiples of these, I could see how this could really, really heat things up. But for now, this is great. So if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. If you want to purchase this product, there's also a link down below for you to grab that. You purchase, that helps you, it helps me. I really appreciate you watching this video. Make sure you hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, put those down below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.